G'day guys, welcome back to the Fon Supercoach YouTube channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the 7 games that have happened in round 4 so far. Just a little bit of a mid-round update. As you can see from that projected score, I'm in serious trouble once again. Not only do I have the 4 premiums out this round, but Tim English has also been injured. We're not sure how bad it is. Hopefully it is not too bad. On the bright side, Marcus Bontempelli did only go, I think he went 153 or something, 153. So I haven't been absolutely put to the sword by him. However, Gawn and Grundy both dropped another 180 plus points on my head. It's just been a disaster so far this year because of the ruck call. The only premiums that have been consistent are Jack Sinclair and the rucks. And unfortunately, I only have one of those 3. And naturally, I'm getting killed for it. So it is what it is, I guess. Let's review some games. We'll get into it. So Brisbane v Collingwood. I was watching the pre-game and the cameras were on Nick Dacos as we expected. As we've come to learn, they always are. And he looked dreadful. So it was not to my surprise at all that he was laid out. It is what it is. I prefer him being out rather than trying to play that game and scoring a 50 because then it tanks his price. Fortunately for me, the non-owners don't get that. However, as an owner, I don't get the points. Is what it is. Let's get into the game. So no McCluggage, which means Ashcroft, Neal, both went really well. Bailey going through the middle as well, I believe. Can't recall what the CBAs were. Yeah, 45%, so pretty good. Collingwood was just an easy matchup for midfielders, particularly with no Nick Dacos. They were dreadful. This score was flattering to them. Brisbane could have put on 160 plus points, really. They're just dreadful without Nick Dacos. So I guess no one's really surprised by that, but they're a very, very easy matchup for midfielders. So as you can see, Will Ashcroft and Lachie Neale racked up the pill. Didn't score too great, but 139 is really good. I guess 114 you'd want a little bit more in a plus matchup. But I think the lines are rotating so many guys through there that it's even though Neal's at 84%, he's a bit older. They're not as reliant on him, so he's not going to score as much. I think probably the big pain point for me in this game was Kadeen Coleman with the 113. He's playing behind the ball because Answorth was injured. And he was just really good. He just had an exceptionally good game, to be honest. The first half, he was seriously good. A lot of his contested possessions happened in the first half. He was highly efficient, getting to the right places, taking intercepts. He was just really good. So he looks to have turned it around. I'm not sure how long the role lasts. And I think that some people will be in a position to consider getting Kadeen Coleman. I don't view that I am now because there's a couple of rookies that I like and I've got Tim English to deal with. So it's looking like another boost for me, but that is what it is. Zorko 111 was pretty good. Again, you probably want a little bit more in this matchup, but I thought Dane was quite good. Still clearly the best ball-using halfback in my eyes. He looks really good. So Draper's probably the interesting one. If for whatever reason he becomes solo ruck, because I think his CBA is 55%. Yeah, if he pushes 75%, I think he is a keeper in our forward line. He looked very good in this game, I will say. I'm not sure what's happened to Darcy Cameron. One of the rucks that I really rated last season, he's just fallen off a cliff. So that's surprising to me. But I think Draper's starting to get into his fitness, which means he will likely be restrictive. I would suggest going forward. I don't know who he has this week. I don't have any Brisbane players. What's the matchup this week? North Melbourne? Oh, they're not really relevant. But then he obviously has Gawn the next week. So, I am expecting Draper to be restrictive once again. Excuse me. He looked much better this week. And then, Levi had 25 as well. The outside guys just fill up against Collingwood. So Dunkley's going to be really cheap. I think he did not have much of a preseason, so I don't know if I even really want to go there until at least after the buys. So, that's kind of where I stand on Dunkley this year, I think. And then we McCarthy's rookie price, but elevated for a 60. It's not great. Gallup was better this week, but still completely lost in defence, I think. Actually had, no, that's handballs. No, so he's had 8 marks and 9 kicks. So that suggests to me that 9 of these disposals are junk. There's 2 contested. Maybe there's a couple of contested marks in there. Yeah, still lost. Don't know why Zach Estelti's not playing, but is what it is. And then on the Collingwood side, Houston, I think a lot of people will look at this Houston game and think, wow, this was like the junkiest 100 ever. And I think there's elements of that are true. But in the week, I wanted to check if I'd been sold a lemon with Dan Houston. And I watched the first 2 Collingwood games. The GWS game was fresh enough in my mind, so I didn't have to watch that. But I actually thought that Houston was moving and getting to the places to receive the ball. This was his best game in that sense, I thought. He didn't use it that well. A lot of it looked kind of junk, but there was also times when he would have the ball and there's just no movement up the ground. And he makes a bad decision and tries to pick off a kick that's not there in a couple of those situations. But the Collingwood team was so bad this week. And I think to get a 101 out of that was probably quite good, considering there was also a double clanger for soccering the ball through outside the 9, which is one of these double clangers for whatever reason. I think the logic of having one incident or one action worth 2 clangers makes no sense, but in that circumstance, I don't actually mind the points loss for receiving the double clanger. So I'm not really complaining about it. I think it's justified, but yeah, I thought Houston was actually all right this game. I think that'll get lost in the junky nature of some of this, but I thought he was actually pretty good. 10 contested. I think he's leading the Collingwood team in clearances. There was actually a reasonable amount to like in this game. So I'm still holding firm with Dan Houston, but we'll see. We'll see. And then, also Collingwood marks were really down in this game. They've been higher. I expect them to be a little bit higher than this most weeks. Obviously, no Nick Dacos. He's their prime mover, so that's part of the reason for that. But I do expect it to be a little higher, so there might have been upside on this score. Let's have a look. Is there anyone else relevant? Oh, DeGoey just... Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't look that good this year, I think. I don't... Oh, Steen. So, Steen is going to be a very interesting decision this week. What's Collingwood's run? Freo Carlton. So, in theory, Steen is going to be dreadful next week. But I have a feeling that, he's actually going to be scoring okay after the fact. And obviously, we're going to have Watkins at least to deal with. You don't make much money going Watkins to Farrow. So if you have to, if you have English, how do you get the extra money? And I think I'm still interested in Steen. If this is a floor score, it's worth noting Steen is significantly better at the centre bounces than Cameron, but Cameron is much better around the ground. So I don't know if there's a strategy that Collingwood could use where if they win the centre clearance, they could do it where they kick it forward. And then Steen and Cameron swap from ruck to forward, which would be pretty bad for Steen. But kind of makes sense. I think with enough of the centre bounces as well, he can probably go 45 to 50. 50 is all he needs to do, really. So I don't mind trading into this. But yeah, I don't know. There's a decision to be made here. As I said, I do think this Brisbane ruck duo is going to become restrictive. And this might have been the week that it became restrictive. So... yeah, not sure. I should talk about Josh Dacos as well. Just highly uncontested, which is why I'm a little bit surprised by this ratio, to be honest. There's 5 contested with 3 clangers, reasonable disposal efficiency. I guess there's no marks. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be some games where Dacos and Houston, it's just junk. And I think this was one of them. So anyway, let's move on. North versus the Blues. So, yeah, I sort of thought that Sheasel was a lock for a 130 in this game. Absolute lock. And then he just wasn't... He just had a bad game. He couldn't find the ball. Couldn't get much junk. Only 5 marks. I think that's probably down on his average. So, yeah, he was just poor. Which really hurt me because I don't think I've hit a single VC this year. And then I had Zach Butters on 26 at halftime against Richmond. So, yeah, this was... Yeah, problematic for me. LDU, another 115. Just too fast for the Carlton mids. This is actually... He's only had 22 disposals. This is a really good game. 16 contested. So this is the thing with LDU. Why can't he do this every week? Like, he's clearly good enough, but why can't he do it every week? So, yeah, I don't know. And then McKercher was on like 95, I want to say, at three-quarter time. Yeah, 94. And then just did nothing in the second half. And to be honest, like, I didn't watch this game live. I watched this back. And I checked the scores like halfway through the second quarter. And Kirch was on like 85. I was like, what is he doing? Like, he must be going insane. Like, he did have a lot of marks, but... Actually, no, he didn't even have a lot of marks. So I was just like, how is this a 95? And then I watched the game back. It's all sideways kicks. Like, how does it make sense? Like, I'm tearing my hair out with some of the scoring this year. And I just don't understand how this was such a positive ratio. Like, the DE isn't even that good considering he's going sideways all the time. So I don't know. I couldn't understand that. But if you traded him in, obviously a really good win to get a 107 out of him. Probably a good matchup, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good win. He's still getting some CBAs, which scares me. And he's still not getting that many kick-ins. So I just don't know what to make of this pick. And then like Luke Parker I spoke about as well. Had the 20, still taking kick-ins, but I don't know. It's not like prime Zeeble where it's just like take kick-in, long to contest, ball comes back into D50, take kick-in, long to contest. Like it's not long to contest kick-in spam. So I think he's probably not a top 6 defender, even though the role is currently good. And I also think that, did he get CBAs as well? He got 1. I don't know when that was, but I don't know. I don't think this role holds. I think they want to play Daniel forward, but at points they realize for whatever reason that they think they need him behind the ball. And that's where he just ends up. Like he takes a lot of kick-ins, even though he plays like a reasonable amount of like half forward. So I don't know. I don't know what North's doing in their backline. So that's why I don't really love any of these picks. I think McKercher will probably be a good one. But yeah, I don't know. I can't make sense of North this year in defence. I don't think Trembath... How much was Trembath? 285. Yeah, way too expensive. I don't know. Trembath's a ripper player though. Like he's super good. So it's good for North to get some of these good ones like Blamires and Trembath for free pretty much. They speed up your rebuild quite a lot. So yeah, good to see those guys firing. Anyone else here? So Finn O'Sullivan did a good job on Walsh, I thought. I mean, Walsh has more Supercoach points. Does that mean he wins the matchup? I don't know. But yeah, I think they've got a good player in Finn O'Sullivan. And then Dersma has actually been really good this year. I think I want to say he's kicked their most goals. I don't have the stats in front of me, but he's been quite good. I think if someone was crazy enough to go there, I think he actually makes a reasonable amount of money this year. Okay, I might be telling lies. I swear he's kicked like 10 goals or something this year. Anyway, it's good to see him playing well. Obviously being a pretty controversial player based on his career so far, but good to see him playing well. And then Blamires only had the 15. Yeah, I don't know. He was fine. But for a 99k player scoring the odd 56, we will take that. Then Callum Coleman-Jones, you can't go here. He's an absolute spud. Onto the Carlton side. So, yeah, Pitnet's absolutely dominated these North rucks. 17 hit-outs to advantage and 2 goals. I actually don't know how this is a 117. He's got 46 disposal efficiency, I guess. But it's 5 points for hit-out to advantage. So that he's got 85 points from hit-outs to advantage. I don't know. This seems unders. It's 5 points for hit-out to advantage, right? Is it this one? Hit-out to advantage. Yeah, it's 5 points. I don't... This, like... Yeah, -9 scaling, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he had some bad clangers at the end. He did give away a late free kick in front of goal, so... In front of their own defensive goal, so... Anyway, he's obviously not relevant. So Walsh, like, got tagged, had 19. Like, if he goes to 25, you're getting a 115 probably. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be too worried about this. Boyd is taking, like, bulk kick-ins. I don't know if this holds when Chera comes back, but Boyd is, like, 180k. I was actually half interested in him in the preseason, but he didn't get selected round 1. For whatever reason, Voss does not like Jordan Boyd. I can't understand it. I think Jordan Boyd's actually all right, but I know that a lot of Carlton players don't like him either. Carlton fans. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. If he gets selected for the 3rd game, I will go there, I think. And Chera. So, Chera came back, which means it's Jagger, and Walsh actually lost some CBAs as well. I don't know if this was to do with the tag though. Like I wasn't really watching for that. And I do have a feeling this was because of the tag. Because I think, well, he saw 63% CBAs. Maybe this tag was dropped at some point. I don't know. But just on like this Carlton midfield mix, Cripps, Hewitt, and Chera. Like Voss is a clown if he runs all those three in the same set of bounces. They are all the same pace, which is slow. They all have no inside. They have no outside game, and they just get burned on transition. Like I don't understand. Like Walsh isn't fast either, but he's faster than these three. And then Smith was like the quick one who gives their midfield a little bit of a different look. So I'm not sure if they persist with this midfield mix. And I think like there was a lot of times in this game where LDU was just outrunning the Carlton mids from centre bounce stoppages. Like that is alarming to me as a coach. Or I would have thought that's alarming as a coach, but yeah, not sure. Jagger had the 17 disposal no goal. He played well, but the opportunity now isn't as good because he's not getting centre bounces. I think this will be on the lower end. I don't know if this was like Voss panicking to try and get a win in a game that they probably should win, and just like playing the old crowd. But like Chera's output for this 73% CBAs is like it's disastrous. So I don't know. I would have thought that there's not much Chera in the CBA mix going forward. I think Jagger and Walsh should be getting those. I think it's like you got to look at these other ones. Like it's just not working at Carlton. And then is there anyone else relevant? So Florent like is potentially relevant, but had a bit of a poor game. Dirksen 99k 53. I thought Dirksen was okay, but I don't know. I have a feeling that Dean is going to come back in for him. I can't remember where Lewis Young played, to be honest, so I'm not sure. Although Wiedering in concussion protocols, I have a feeling Wiedering's had a few concussions. Hopefully it's not a bad one, but that may arise or may create an opportunity for someone like Dirksen to play a few more games if it is a bad one. So fingers crossed for Wiedering that it is not, but that's just something to watch. And then Will Hayward's been offered one match for a gut punch. I don't think that has any Supercoach relevance at all. Let's move on to the Dockers and the Crows, which if I didn't go for Melbourne, I would say this is the game of the round so far. But I do go for Melbourne, so it's number 2 to me. So just like on the Crows, I thought their ball movement last season was so much better than it is this year. And I think they're overusing it in the back half a little bit. What does that mean? I think it means that there's some inflated scores for him. I think for Worrell, it means it brings him back to a 105 type if the ball movement starts to drop, instead of probably being like he's probably 110 plus at the moment. So if you picked Worrell, like absolutely outstanding pick, even without the Adelaide game plan change, I think he is still premium. But yeah, I think the Adelaide sideways ball movement will start to drop this in the coming weeks because I think it's hurting their ability to score. They haven't put up 100 much this year, so another 76. The Dockers win by 2. So yeah, that's just my thoughts there. McAndrew was exceptional in the double ruck matchup. Only been outscored by Jackson by 3 points. Riley O'Brien was dreadful. I actually think they persist with this, but I think Rob's tog goes to about 30%. He was also dragged at the end of the game where he like got a free kick and then kicked it into Shrek on the mark and was turnover, goal scored. Like that was the game there pretty much. So yeah, Rob was quite poor. McAndrew was really good. It's also worth noting with this game, there was a huge amount of ruck contests. I think one of the highest of the year. Where do we have? So this is 94 hitouts. I'm very confident that's the most this year. And what does that mean? It means that, all of Dawson, Peatling, Rochelle, Berry, Sarong, Brayshaw, Jackson, McAndrew, they all scored a heap. Now, as a Dawson owner, I'm a little bit concerned, but like I just don't understand why this score is only a 101. Like 2 goals. I know he's only had 23, but he's had 12 contested. The disposal efficiency isn't great, but it's only 4 clangers. Like, I feel like this is a 115 most weeks. And I understand that the scaling says that, but he also kicked like a go-ahead goal in the 4th quarter. And his 4th quarter, for 17 points, by the way, he had like 5 disposals, 3 of which were contested. The goal, I think it was, let's see, I think it was a couple marks as well. Like, I just don't understand this score. Like, it makes no sense to me. He was good when the game was on the line, so I don't understand. I'm getting frustrated with this pick, to be honest, because the scoring just doesn't make sense to me. But I knew that going into it, so hopefully there's a big one around the corner. Phil Thorpe, if you had him, was pretty good. Good result here. I already spoke about Worrell and Miller. So Rochelle was another one who was really good. I thought adds a little bit of pace to that Crows midfield, which is something they lack. So yeah, I think I'm not sure if he like holds this role, because obviously Rankin didn't get, like, he got 5 CBAs. I don't know if Rankin gets built up into having more CBAs. I'm not sure. But if he does hold this role, I think he's top 8 forward. Probably does 90, which might be good enough at 390k. Particularly, I'll talk about like trades at the end of this. But I think there's going to be some unique trade strategy this year that will give you an advantage. Rankin's going to be cheap at some point, but don't know if we want to go there. Cook just had another, like, he was fine. I think this goal was in the 4th quarter, which was just before 3/4 time, which is probably like a little bit fortunate, but it's a good result. I think they've got a decent matchup next week. Yeah, Carlton. So Cook will probably score 80 against Carlton, which would be a great pick for owners. So Bond, 160k rookie. I think if you were going a defender rookie this week, this was your guy. But this score is pretty bad, so I don't know. I don't know how much money Bond ends up making. And then Chase Jones, nearly went here myself. Thank goodness I didn't, because he is dreadful. And I did know that, which is why I didn't end up going there. But yeah, another absolute stinker. I'm pretty sure surely Scholl plays over this. Like, he's got to play over this. And then on the Fremantle side, let's cut to the chase. Jordan Clark, just like where are the clangers? They're all at the end of the game. And I'm watching this guy. He does not call for the ball. Never. And he took like the first 2 out of 3 kick-ins for the game. And then like all the kick-ins are gone. I don't know why. I don't know if that is by design. I don't know if that is just how it happened. Do we have clangers here? I'm pretty sure they were... Well, that doesn't help, but... I'm sure there are clangers here somewhere, but I can't see them. So we're going to move on. But yeah, Clark was just dreadful. Like this... I think he averages 70 at Adelaide Oval. Now, Adelaide Oval doesn't strike me as being a bad ground for defenders, but... What I will say about Clark is there is absolutely no desire to like pig the ball, whereas Houston has that desire, Josh Dacos has that desire, Worrell has that desire, obviously Nazaya, Sinclair, Ash, Whitfield have that desire. Like, this pick is doing my head in, and if I start, like, literally if I start Worrell over Clark, I have another like 100k to play with. And I could have gone to a ruck, so it's just a disaster. And this guy, like, again, it's pretty rare that you get these negative ratio games. He's had 2 of them this year. Like, the clangers are just diabolical at the end of the game. Like, just doing my head in this pick. He's a good footballer, no doubt about it, but just doesn't have the piggish intent that these other guys have that creates the high floor. So he's going to throw in these stinkers. Next week, Collingwood should be a good matchup. He's typically not scored well at Adelaide Oval, though, so I don't know which of those 2 trends prevails. Hopefully, it is the good Collingwood scoring trend, but yeah, I don't know. Just he was an absolute dud this game, which is very sad. Luke Jackson was quite good. As I said, high stoppage game. I don't really know. Like, obviously, he's got 26 hit-outs to 22, but I don't know what percentage of ruck contests this was. I will say, like, I think Jackson worked out pretty quickly that if he body checked McAndrew early enough so that it wasn't a free kick in the ruck contest, he could pretty much just take the ball out of the ruck contest every time. So I'm not sure. I think McAndrew, that's probably the only weakness in McAndrew's game, in my opinion. And I think Jackson worked that one out and was able to capitalize on it. Just, again, this role makes no sense to me, but it's like high hit out to advantage, high contested, lots of clearances. Like the disposal efficiency doesn't have to be that good when your contested possession rate is this high. And then he can hit the scoreboard as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just scoring at will, Luke Jackson. Don't know if many have Tracy, but this guy's just an absolute beast. Sarong and Brayshaw were quite good. This Adelaide midfield is going to be good for premium scoring, for opposition premium scoring. Not surprising, I think. They don't have any big size midfielders and no like prolific ball winners. So, yeah, Sarong and Brayshaw they went really well. Obviously, Brayshaw's had the 10 tackles, which helps. But yeah, they were quite good in this game. Obviously, Sarong's DE not that good, but when it's a lot of contested, it doesn't really matter. And Murphy Reed, what is this guy averaging? Like, oh, he had 57 last week. Jeez, he's going pretty well though. Like, I don't think he's top 6, but he's playing very good footy and clearly a good footballer. So yeah, he's been good. Shea Bolton, if you went there, probably wanted a little bit more than this. I think he's in trouble when Hayden Young comes back as well. Don't know how long away that is, but yeah, we'll see. Cox, Pierce, not relevant. We talked about Clark. Oh, and then Scary was like, I don't know, it's just a small forward. Like he hasn't had a kick. So I don't know. If you went here, like he probably slow burns to like 180, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a tough own. All right, let's move on to the worst game I think I've ever watched, which was Richmond and Port Adelaide. So Short's putting up premium numbers this year. Like this could have been massive as well with 2 points, but low disposal efficiency. The ball was just better served in Grill's hands. Like, I don't know. I don't really believe this Jaden Short scoring at the moment. And then Taranto, like super absolute ratio merchant this game. Probably his highest disposal efficiency game of his career. No clangers, a lot of contested. Really good. I really rate Taranto. I think Hopper was probably a poor decision to get. And I think by probably, I mean definitely. But I think Taranto is actually really good. I think you can throw him forward and he can be a weapon as well. So, yeah, Taranto, good player. Grill, 90. So, had Nick Dacos played, I would have had this Watkins 7 over the Grill 90. So, swings and roundabouts, I guess. Grill probably outscores Dacos based on his injury anyway. And I get an additional 83 points on field. So, that was good. Definitely not complaining there. And yeah, he was quite good. I think he actually had CBAs in this game as well. 4. There was rumours that he would go to Butters. That is not what happened. He was just running around on his own. Really good player. I hope he gets more of the ball, not just for making cash, but yeah, he's a good player and he does things with the footy. Lawler was good, but just the midfield role isn't good enough for sustained scoring. Who else is here that is relevant? I don't think Fawcett's relevant. Lafau, 33, yeah, not good. So Ryan been offered a week. I think that means Lafau is going to be playing ruck for the next 1 week. So if you went there, you probably get a good score next week, like a 60 or so. But yeah, I don't know. I would have thought Lafau even kicked a couple goals in this game, but it wasn't meant to be. The Tigers this was their worst game of the season, I thought. And then on the Port side, I don't think Sweet's relevant, but this is just sort of showing you can very easily put up a big score on Richmond as a ruck. Aliir, this was weird. Aliir took probably 5 or 6 contested intercept marks, but I think pretty much every one of them was actually a push in the back. So I think he got a little bit lucky there, but he was quite good given that. Butters was, poor, I think. I think he's checked out. So it's been a disaster. I picked 2 expensive guys in the midfield, and this is the one that I've relied on with the VCC every week. And so far, he's given me 1 reasonable score. So yeah, a bit of a disaster. Had the best run, had the best upside, and just not been good. So Bomb would have been nice, but it is what it is. He'll still be top 6, I think, just a slow start to the year. But yeah, I don't know what happens. When Port starts playing good teams, is he going to just go 110? That's the genuine questions that I'm having at this point. Because Port are not scoring a lot of fantasy. 1387 in a game they were comfortably ahead. This is not I'm quite concerned by this. I will say that there was virtually no contest in this game. So this is 56. That would have been one of the lower games this year. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard when there's not many contests. So I don't know. I am taking this 114 after it was about a 26 or a 28 or something at halftime. Yeah, 34. So yeah, we're taking that 80 point second half. So Burn Jones, I can't believe I'm even going to suggest this. He's too expensive, 340. Going to have gone up as well. But he got swung back to defense, so I don't know why that happened. But that is interesting to me. But probably wouldn't go there. And Horn Francis was like, I thought he was pretty good, but just not playing a heap of midfield time. Like it's only 30%. I think you want a little bit more than that. So yeah, I don't think I'll be going Horn Francis this year. Bergman looked like a park football in the first half, but actually scored 50 in the second half. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. He was still playing in defense, so still not an option. Lai is like a downgrade option this week, who's been exceptional in the first quarters so far and really bad in the second quarters. I don't know. Really exceptional in the first halves and really bad in the second halves. I don't know what that means. Like, maybe I should be going Lai instead of Steen. I don't know. There's decisions to be made there, but yeah. His first halves have been really good. He's been scoring 40 plus in every first half and just fading out of the game. So, he's an interesting rookie option next week. Wines came back, limited Tog. He was fine. And then, I think, as bad as Clark was, to score a 7 in 64% game time with CBAs, you've got to be donkey of the week for that. So, yeah, Watkins, I don't know, just really poor. Just used the ball terribly. He normally would have given us a 30 with this, but yeah, just terrible ball use. I don't know, just absolutely dreadful. All right, Eagles versus Sydney. So worth noting, this game was also quite low stoppage. So 44, 50, so 53. So even lower stoppage than the previous game. But Flynn is an absolute cupcake matchup. I think he's even easier than last year for whatever reason. And yeah, Grundy just went bananas. So that's what happened. Another 180 plus on my head in the ruck line. 3 of them this year. So looking to rectify that next week. I'm thinking of bringing in Gawn at this stage. We'll talk about that when I get to the Melbourne game. But yeah, the rucks have absolutely killed me this year. And then on the West Coast side, no tons. I don't know what so they've had 1,200 Supercoach, which is crazy to think about. But it kind of makes sense. There's no real accumulators. There's no, they're not hitting the scoreboard. Kind of makes sense. And then this is what is this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tons for Sydney. So yeah, I don't know. West Coast, I think a little bit of a reality check. They're not as far behind as I thought they would be this season. I really rate Sydney as well. So I wasn't surprised by this outcome at all. But they have a lot of work to do still, obviously. And Tim Kelly, if you trade it in as a 400-ish K forward, I think you take this in a belting of 95. So I think you'd be pretty happy with that. I don't know how many have McCarthy, but I think he was back in the midfield this week. It's half, I guess. So yeah, he was pretty good. Dersma got some CBAs at the end. It was looking like being a lean game for Willem, but he pulled through and got a 72. So this has been such a disastrous miss, in my opinion, for non-owners. I had 2 of the really bad rookie misses last year, and I thought I did okay. So with only 1 bad miss this year, I'm not as concerned. But yeah, obviously the on-field points and cash gem would have been really nice. He's going to be topped out, I think, after next week. So you get a really good jump on upgrade season with a pick like this. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but can't pick them all, I guess. Shanahan, not Supercoach relevant, but going to be a ripper player. Bo Allen, 55. Yeah, I didn't think he was this good, to be honest. The 33 fantasy suggests that he wasn't that good, but I guess it's 7 contested. Reasonable disposal efficiency. I don't know. I didn't think he was that good, though. Schonberg wouldn't be going there. Lindsay, so this is 4 frees against. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, 6 clangers. Would generally have been a better game. I don't think he gets dropped. He was far from the issue. He was taking kickouts at the start, but Harley Reid got tagged, which has Sydney. This was the first tag that Sydney used, and it was very effective. So I think it's going to be back for the next couple of weeks as well, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, Lindsay got sent to the wing basically to get Harley Reid some cheap kick-ins. So unfortunately, he did not get those cheap kick-ins. But yeah, 46, like not really disastrous to be honest. You can comfortably get that out of your system. So I'm not overly worried with Lindsay. I still think he's a required player for West Coast, so I don't think they'll be dropping him. And then Reid, if you had him, like this should have been a 20. There's 4 kickouts in here, I think. 3. So yeah, probably should have been a 30, which yeah, was a disaster. I'm still surprised that Sydney decided to tag, to be honest, but yeah. And then if you got Cooper Duff-Tytler, I think it's probably going to be time to go after this game. And yeah, no one else relevant, I think. So on the Swan side, so Heaney got sat for the last quarter, presumably because, well, A, they didn't need him. He has injury history and he's just had recently, I think it was a hamstring or calf. I can't remember what it was. But it was a soft tissue concern. So yeah, this could have probably been a 180 as well. He was terrific. He kills the bad teams. So not a surprise. Terrific player to watch. And then, as I said, Grundy's just killed Flynn again. I don't know how long it takes or if Bailey Williams comes into the West Coast side and makes this Flynn matchup a little bit less easy, but I don't know. It's like that you just kill Flynn. He's just an absolute easy beat at the moment. So yeah, Grundy went nuclear, and another 180 on my head in the ruck. So Jai Sarong, who I think is he my highest scorer this week? He is. Fantastic. Just what you like to see. He was quite good. Obviously, he's had 27, racked it up. He's played a little bit of halfback as well, which was nice. But yeah, he was just, I don't know, he was excellent. Not much to say really other than he was really good. Blakey was quite good. Huge ratio. Like, I think Blakey could be top 6, but the ratios really scare me. Like, it's not a lot of guaranteed ball for him, I think. Like, gets to 20 every week, but he doesn't push like 25, 30 a lot of the time. So, yeah, I don't know. Worth noting that, like, all of these, like, outside defender types filled up. So, Lloyd, Bice, Wicks, Blakey, and Sarong all filled up this game. So, that was a bit interesting. McInerney, 105. Left probably a big score on the table, but if you went him, you'd be pretty happy with that. Bias 102, don't know how many went there, but he filled up there. And then Jordan tagging. So what this means is that I think there's going to be a couple of tags coming up, which is going to be Noah Anderson and Finn Callahan, in my opinion. So I don't know how long the tag goes after that. Maybe this is Ed Richards. Melbourne have no one worth tagging. North could be like Sheasel, LDU, Nick Dacos. So this is very much back on the menu, this James Jordan tag. It hadn't happened so far this year. I think that's because the idea of having like a tagger in there when you want Goulden, Heaney, Warner, like Sheldrick's running through there a bit, which I don't really understand, I'll be honest. But like there's a few guys that can go through the midfield there for Sydney. So having the tagger go through as well is a little bit problematic. But he was very effective on Harley Reid today. So yeah, I'm expecting him to be deployed next week as well, which makes like Anderson a potential trade out because he's going to leak cash. I would advise against that. I think with all the premium carnage this year, we're already so low on trades that holding the trade is just more valuable. And you just take the bad score, even if it is in best 23 or best 22 week. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the Melbourne game, Melbourne Suns. Kerno, the role player, kicked 4, not bad. Mills, like if you had Mills, is probably a little bit unlucky. Just he was literally the only one who didn't fill up of the ball using halfbacks. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And then Rosas was a laid out. So that was, unlucky if you had him. I think he'll play next week, but I don't know. We'll need to wait for an injury report on that. All right, Demons and the Suns. My boys are so fun to watch. This, like, Suns' good kicking made this game a lot closer than it should have been. But that being said, the Suns, I thought, played probably the worst game I've seen them play in a long time. So, really happy for my boys. Gawn, 175. This is the worst ruck matchup you can have. And Gawn has just put 180 on my head. So, it's been that sort of year for me. And I will say that I think being a Melbourne supporter and not owning Gawn is like the worst non-own in the history of Supercoach, and I'm very much feeling that right now. Not that I'm like as invested in Supercoach as I normally have been at this point of the season, but yeah, I think I'm bringing him in this week. It's too hard to watch. And then, I don't know, he's just tremendous. And Jack Steele, like, what is Steven Silvani doing? He's paying Jack Steele to play like prime Jack Steele for another club, for a future third rounder. Like, just diabolical list management. So yeah, been wrapped with that. Been wrapped with Steele. I think he probably goes 110. Nah, he doesn't go 110. He might go 105. I don't know, but he's made a really good pick so far. And just playing really good football, high contested, high tackles, like high. I don't think you get points for clearances, but I can tell you, you do not get points for clearances. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, high contested, high tackles. Just he's been unbelievable. Pickett was really good. Like there's probably 4 or 5 times this game where centre bounce, it was just like gone silver service tap straight to Pickett, who just ran in and kicked it inside forward 50, which was awesome to see. And it means like Gawn, like, I don't know, Gawn's going to score stupid amounts of points this year, I think. How many contests is this? 42, 63, 69. So this was a low stoppage game as well. But yeah, I don't know. Gawn just scores. He just scores points for fun. And then is anyone else relevant here? Sharp like would have been a really good rookie, but I'm surprised how good Sharp has been playing, to be honest. He looked quite poor last year and he'd been quite poor at Brisbane, I thought. So yeah, he's just ticking along nicely if you went here. Tholstrup tagged Touk Miller, which means that we're probably going to get a very cheap good forward soon. And cheap, I mean, he's probably going to be 520. I think he does 110, so I'll probably take that. Or maybe not 110, 105. So yeah, that'll be interesting when Touk Miller comes down. Xavier Lindsay got me this inevitable, very average, high 60s. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like he has 16 disposals every week. Like some weeks there's a little bit more contested, a little bit better ball use, some tackles. But yeah, I don't know. This week was like tough viewing. And he got a very lucky goal from a 50-metre penalty. So yeah, I don't know. I think this pick is on its last legs. I'll probably hold him for one more. But we'll see. Latrell was good. But yeah, I still don't know if he's going to be worth that elevated price. Windsor's ball use has been really bad the last couple of games, but I think he's unironically getting better and he's learning this like midfield role a little bit better, tackling more, getting some more handball receives. Like he's just starting to learn the role, which obviously means nothing for us playing Supercoach. But as a Melbourne supporter, I think there is actually something to work with there. So I think he'll get going eventually. Then Laurie's a rookie price player, but just isn't up to it at AFL level, unfortunately. So I don't think we're going to get him. And then on the Suns side, so yeah, Touk Miller got tagged. That was a strange choice to me, but then Noah Anderson sort of just had a stinker as well. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think if you picked Noah Anderson, this has been a disaster. Like it's sort of similar to Butters, but with a bye as well, and the scoring's been a little bit worse, I think. So I don't know. You've got a decision to make this week if you want to trade. If you have English, like, I don't think you can afford to trade, to be honest. Like, this is just... Even this week, I think the trade, like, the number of trades you're going to want this week, it's going to be too much unless you carry cash next week. And then, like, as I said with the injuries, I think there's going to be a huge amount of value in holding the trades this year, which is why I've held Petrarca. It's why I didn't want to boost in a rookie last week. There weren't any good options, but I would advise holding this. Ezekiel in 85, kicked 2 goals. Like he was pretty good today, I thought. Played half back. Yeah, I still wouldn't be advising going there. I think Melbourne's going to be a good matchup for half backs, generally speaking. Goulburn is a rookie, 82. Had some like hamstring problem, but yeah, I think he holds. Like he was much better than Rogers. Long's not playing the same position, so I'm not really going to compare this. But yeah, he was much better than Rogers, so I think he'll actually hold when Humphrey comes back. The question is who goes out for Petrarca then as well. I don't have an answer for you. It could actually be Lombard, who we will speak about now, who had 7 clangers. And most of these were not like... So there's 2 frees against, but most of them were like disposal clangers. It was literally just like fumbles, drop marks, that sort of stuff. Probably left a big score on the table this week. which is unfortunate, but I guess like the 56 isn't a disaster. Rao 55, like managed Tog, looked a little bit disrupted by that hand, but he's probably going to be cheap if you're interested in going there this year. And then the last game, the Dogs and the Bombers. So Bont 153, as I said earlier, this felt like a little bit of a let-off. Like this could have been really bad, and this was as unethical as a Bont game as I've seen. There was a lot of like chip mark junk, like which normally Bont doesn't do. He doesn't concern himself with that normally. Normally, like there's the Dales and the Williamses and the other types to get involved in that. But this matchup was Bont. A lot of times where there was just not anyone near Bont at all. Like he would have 40 meters of space. So yeah, this was probably fortunate. I think the fact that Essendon didn't get absolutely blown off the park, which I was a little bit surprised about, is probably what hurt or limited this score a little bit. Also, Ed Richards was a laid out. Like, that's so unlucky. But I think that suggests to me that he has been carrying an injury so far. So, as far as an upgrade target goes, he's not going to this Cupcake Essendon matchup. He's got a week off to rest. Like, I think it's actually 2 weeks off now as well. So, Ed Richards is becoming very interesting to me. But I guess we'll see. We want to see a little bit of a turnaround first, I think. And then Darcy, like, 3 goals, 3. Like, if you went here this week, it's probably a little upset, to be honest. Like, this could have been a massive score. Missed some easy ones as well. I don't think anyone's got Fraser. Dale started to turn it around, but still not picking it up like he has in the past, which is interesting. And then Jones, 82, but had like a hamstring problem. So I think when the next game he's selected for, I'll probably look to downgrade here with this 82 in the system. But this probably would have been a ton as well if he'd stayed on the park, but it's unfortunate. And then the big one, Tim English, like my 7th premium injury this year, I think. So Goulden, Dawson, Petrarca, Rosie, English. I'll count Cherry, even though that was a bad trade, my own blunder. And Nick Dacos. So, yeah, 7 premium injuries now. Pretty sad. Like, this game was low stoppage again. So, 25, 7, 8, 49, 53. So, 66. So, not like super low stoppage, but lower than normal. So, I was kind of right about this maybe not being a great captain's option. Yeah, really sad that he's injured. It might not be that bad given he came back on, but I guess we'll see. And then Butterick, 72, was on like 66 at halftime or something, so this was a little bit of a shame. And Jake's 67 we take. Selwood, 28. I think... So Selwood's been scoring in the close games, so I think I'm willing to hold Selwood for another week. Is where I stand on this. And then on the Essendon side... Roberts with a good score, like rare good disposal efficiency game, but just like kicking it long down the line and sideways, so I'm not really surprised by that. Merritt was good, 4 free kicks, 4, which is nice, 11 contested. Merritt, like, is just a consistent scorer when he gets no attention, so it's not really a surprise, I think. Zach Reid got injured, which is a shame. Would like to see him get a good run in it because I think he's a good player. Farah's a big one from this game for me. I think with the 90 in the system, you've got to go there next week. Also, like... Essendon did this thing last year where in games where I think they thought they were going to get belted, they just tried to play keepings off in defence. And as you can see by the mark counts, that is what happened again. So I think it's going to happen for the next few weeks as they try and just control tempo a little bit more and try and build some continuity in other parts of their game, which bodes well for Farrow. So very, very, very interested in this pick. I think you have to go there this week. Anyone else relevant? Parrish 73, like ironically probably Parrish's best game this year, but just not a great score. Caldwell 71 was just dreadful. I don't know what to say. Like this is a junk 71 as well. All happened at the end of the game. 8 clangers from 19 disposals is just diabolical. So yeah, he was not very good. Blackiston got banished to defence at one point, and Wright actually looked okay in the ruck, so that was interesting to see. And then Day Wicks is rookie price, but probably wouldn't go there. So yeah, those are the games so far. Now, I want to talk about trading because I think this week there's going to be a lot of people interested in boosting because of the downgrade options. And obviously Tim English as well. I think this year there's been so many premium injuries that teams are going to run out of trades so fast and they're not going to have progressed their team very much. So I think guys like Watkins this week probably have to go. But that's why I'm quite interested in holding on to Selwood. But that being said, I do want 2 downgrades so I can flick English on. So I have to find another one that's like problematic that gets me enough money to go up to Gawn or Grundy. I have a feeling... So English is going to be 580. Grundy's going to be what? Like... this is what, 22 above break even. So he's going to be like 560. Sorry, 660. So I need to find 80k there. I've got 30 in the bank. So I have to make 2 downgrade trades anyway. Unless I pass on Farrow, which I'm not doing. Yeah. Yeah, so I have to make 3 trades essentially to get English. And 2 downgrade options, which is what it is. But I think they're going to be 2 good cash generators that I get. And like Gawn's a captain's option. And I clearly need them because I don't think I've captained 1 captain score over 120 this year, I think. So yeah, sorely need them. Sorely need the captain's options. But yeah, I think avoiding trading your premiums is going to be so valuable this year because even if Clark or Anderson averages like 5 less points than like the top 6, if people run out of trades by round 17, which I think is really likely this year with all the premium injuries, you having an extra trade or 2 up your sleeve to correct an injury is going to be like, in the back end of the season, that could be hundreds of points, literally. So for someone like me, who's probably going to be 700-800 points behind the pack at the end of this week, that gives me a huge opportunity to make up points in the back end of the year. Because I think my team, like, I don't know if Petrarca will play next week, but in theory, if he does, my team is going to stabilize. Like, I have a very good fieldable 23. It's just like, I've had so many of these, like good rookies out, Premo's out. Like, obviously this buy wasn't good for me, but like my fieldable 23 is actually quite good. So I'm feeling confident from this point onwards. I just have to play the trade game smart now. And holding this boost last week, I think is going to be very, very important. Because obviously I'm going to use it this week. And then I'm probably going to not trade for 1 week. And then see where we're at. I think that's how I'm going to play. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will have the full round review. Well, not the full... I'll review the last Monday game today. This evening, because it should open pretty early. And we'll talk about trades, captain's options, that sort of stuff tonight. So, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you tonight. Bye, guys.